Hi guys, welcome to JJK Yoga. Let's come to a lying down position. I'm going to be here for a good few breaths, so find yourself into a nice comfortable position, whether that's with your legs out straight, knees bent, maybe walk your feet outwards, knee joint in towards each other. Or if you prefer, just bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees splay out to the sides. Once you've arrived to your comfortable position, slowly start to close your eyes and just start to bring yourself to your mat. Just take a moment here to observe how you're feeling today. Just notice how you're feeling both physically and mentally. And then take a quick scan of your body. Notice if there's any areas in the body that you're holding on to tension. And we're going to slowly start to bring our awareness to our breath as we start to move towards our yogic breath, the Ujjayi breath. So the Ujjayi breath involves breathing in and out of your nose. As you breathe in and out of your nose, you start to create a restriction at the back of the throat, which creates an audible breath. And that should sound like an ocean wave rolling in and out. As you inhale, allow your belly and chest to rise, your ribs to expand. And as you exhale, slowly start to lift your pelvic floor and draw the navel down towards the spine. On your next inhale, think about drawing the breath from the lower part of your spine all the way to the top of your spine, so you really feel your chest expand. And again, as you exhale, start to lift that pelvic floor and pull that belly button down towards your spine. Just continue with this breath. So we're going to be doing lots of twists today. Twists are great for just massaging and stimulating movement around your digestive system and the organs. It's also good for stretching and strengthening your spinal muscles. So we really want to just take our time here, focusing on our breath and really warming up the area around our torso. Just try to keep your focus on your breath with your eyes closed so that you allow all other thoughts to become still. Just a few more breaths here now, so maybe for your last few, you might want to draw your breath down to areas that you might be feeling tightness. And just notice how the breath can help to create space and soften some of that tightness you might be feeling. After your next full breath, slowly open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room. And I want everyone to slowly, if your knees are splayed out, your legs are lengthened, just slowly start to bring yourself back, feet back onto the mat, knees bent. Have your heels just beneath your knees, and then connect your thighs, your knees, and the inner feet together. Lovely. We're going to do some abdominal work. So today we're going to do a cycle, 3 cycles, and I'm just going to show you what that cycle is. So we're going to start by either keeping our feet on the mat or having our feet off the mat. We're going to do 5 crunches up, really holding it on the exhale. Then we're going to do side crunches. We're going to do 5 on each side. And then we're going to raise our legs and go straight into pulsing up for 5, holding for 5, coming down, and then slowly lowering and lifting our legs 3 times. Okay? And then we're going to repeat that so that we do 3 in total. So before we begin, choose whether you prefer to have your feet on the mat or have your legs raised. If your feet are on the mat, make sure your heels are underneath your knees, and again make sure your legs are glued together. If you're raising your legs, you want your knees stacked above your hips. If you can, have your feet flexed, legs parallel to the mat. Lovely. Now again, make sure your legs are stuck together. And then from here, with your legs squeezing together, check your lower back is pressing down into the mat. Lift that pelvic floor, squeeze navel to spine, and bring your hands behind your head, elbows nice and open. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lift your shoulders off the mat. Now really squeeze that navel down towards your spine. Inhale, lower, but don't let the shoulders drop. Exhale, come back up. Really squeeze on each exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Keep your chin away from your chest, elbows nice and open. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Keep squeezing. Check your lower back pressing down into the mat. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Now we're going to go straight into our side crunches. So when you're ready, remember your extended leg, the foot can still come onto the floor if you prefer, otherwise you just extend the leg away. So when you're ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember you're exhaling as you crunch. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Raise your legs, keep your shoulders off the mat. Toes point in, heels press as you're away. And we're going to pulse up slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lower down, keep your legs up, arms on the mat. You can place your hands underneath your lower back if you have any lower back issues. Again, draw the heels away, lift that pelvic floor, squeeze navel to spine, take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lower your heels down towards the mat. So you want to keep them about an inch off the mat, so just hovering, your heels are just hovering off, and hold it there for a count of 1. Then slowly, with control, lift back up. Try to keep that lower back connected to the mat. Exhale, let's lower down again. Make sure you're using your abdominal muscles here. Again, let your heels hover off the mat and hold it for 2. And then slowly inhale back up. And last one. Keep that pelvic floor lifted, navel drawing to spine. We're going to hold it here for a count of 3. And then slowly back up. And then just place your feet onto the mat. So try not to draw your knees into your chest just yet. Take a breath here. We're going to repeat that again for round 2. So again, choose whether you want your feet on the mat or your legs raised. Connect your thighs, your knees and inner feet together. Bring your hands behind your ears, elbows nice and open. Really squeeze the thighs together so that your lower back presses down into the mat. Take an inhale as you exhale, lift those shoulders and squeeze. Imagine you've got a tennis ball between your chin and chest. Your neck is nice and long. Inhale, lower. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. And let's do our side crunches. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the body and lengthen the legs. This time, we're going to raise the shoulders off the mat again, and we're going to pulse up slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower your hands down by your sides, or you can place them underneath your lower back. And we're going to draw our legs down as slow as we can on the exhale. Let the heels hover off the mat for a count of 1. And then inhale slowly back up. Exhale back down. Hover for a count of 2. Inhale back up. And then exhale for a count. We're going to hold it for a count of 3. And then slowly back up. And then just place your feet onto the mat again. And we're going to do round 3. So when you're ready, find your way into the position you want to start with. So feet on the mat or legs, feet raised off the mat, legs parallel, knees bent. Hands behind your ears, elbows nice and open. Squeeze your legs together, lift that pelvic floor. Draw that belly button down towards the spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift those shoulders off the mat. Really squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Inhale, lower. And last one, out and squeeze. And let's do our side crunches for 10, 9, really squeeze on the exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift those legs. Let's pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the torso down, hands by your sides. Draw those heels away. Take an inhale as you exhale. Slowly lower those heels down towards the mat. We're going to hover it there for a count of 1. Inhale, slowly come back up. Exhale, lower down and hover for a count of 2. Inhale, slowly coming back up. Last one. Exhale, and we're going to hover for a count of 3. Inhale all the way back up. And then slowly draw your knees to your chest this time. Give yourself a rock from side to side. And maybe just lengthen your legs down the mat. Arms up behind you, stretching out your right side and your left side. And then just bring your feet onto the mat again. Bent knees, just draw that right knee into your chest. Take an inhale as you exhale, just draw that knee over to the right armpit. And then you're just going to extend that leg. Wrap your hands around that right thigh as you draw that heel away. Just breathing into the back of that leg. Make sure the lower back's still planted into the mat. And then bend that knee, place the outside of that foot onto your left thigh. Just use your right hand to press that inner right thigh away. If you want, you can raise your left foot off the mat, wrap your hands around your left thigh. And as you draw that left thigh in towards you, use your right arm to draw that right leg away. So place the left foot down, place the right foot down. This time just draw your left knee into your chest. Take an inhale as you exhale, draw that knee over to the left armpit. And then lengthen that leg up to the ceiling. Just breathing into the back of that left hamstring. And then bend that knee, place that foot onto the top of the right thigh. And then you just got to use your left hand to draw that inner left thigh away. Keep that left foot flexed. And if you want, you can raise that right foot off the mat, wrap your hands around your right thigh, and just use your left arm to draw that left leg away as that right leg draws in towards you. And now place that right foot down, place the left foot down. Just bring your feet about hip distance, bring your arms out nice and wide. Take an inhale. As you exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Inhale back to centre, exhale over to the right. Inhale to centre, over to the left. Inhale to centre, over to the right. Last one, inhale to centre, exhale over to the left. Inhale centre, exhale over to the right. Then just bring your knees back up. Gently just rock those knees from side to side. Now you can roll over to one side and make your way to tabletop. As long as you've got no lower back issues, you can just have your hands underneath your thighs and maybe just roll on your spine a couple of times to come up. And then we'll make our way to a tabletop position. So in tabletop, bring your wrists directly under your shoulders, fingers nice and spread, knees directly under your hips, toes pointing back. As you inhale, you're going to draw your tailbone back, chest forward. Exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling, chin towards your chest. So just some spinal rolls here. Inhale, chest forward, tailbone back as we arch that back. Exhale, really rounding the spine up to the ceiling, rounding through the shoulders, chin to chest. Maybe just a couple more here. Lovely. Now, bring your right leg behind you, just tuck the toes, really draw that heel away. Extend your left arm by your bicep. Make sure your right hand is directly under your right shoulder. You can stay here for a moment, or you can maybe raise your right leg. Really reach your fingertips forward, the heel back. Now if you've got your foot onto the mat, start to raise the leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to draw your elbow towards your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Really squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Lengthen, then place the hand down, place the foot down. And let's do the other side. So make sure your left hand is underneath your left shoulder. And this time lengthen your left leg back, tuck your toes, draw that heel away. Reach your right arm by your ear, fingertips pointing forward. So remember, you can just stay here with your foot on the mat, or you can raise your leg, drawing that heel away, reaching those fingertips forward. Keep lifting that pelvic floor and squeeze your navel to spine. Now, if you've got your foot on the floor, start to raise it. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw the elbow to the knee and really squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee and lengthen. And bring your hand down, bring the leg down. Bring your big toes to touch, keep knees hip distance, maybe a little bit wider. Drop your sit bones back onto your heels. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're just going to walk your hands forward and make your way to a child's pose, bringing your forehead down to the mat. If your forehead doesn't meet the mat, you can always place a block or a cushion underneath to just raise the floor up to your head. As you inhale, see if you can creep your fingertips a little bit more forward. And as you exhale, draw those sit bones a little bit further back, just really extending the sides of the spine. Try to breathe into the backs of your shoulder blades. And slowly lift your head and inch off the mat. Now drawing that right sit bone back, start to walk your hands to the top left hand corner. Bring your right hand on top of your left hand and just drop your shoulder here. Just stretching the right side of your body. And then walk your hands back to centre. And then drawing that left sit bone back, start to walk your hands to the right hand side. Bring your left palm on top of your right hand, dropping your left shoulder. Just extending that left side now. And then walk your hands back to centre. Take a breath here and start to make your way to a tabletop position. Keep your knees stacked underneath your hips. And then as you inhale, you're going to reach your right arm out to the side. As you exhale, thread that arm underneath your left armpit. Extend your left arm up to the top of your mat. Really stretching the under part of your right arm and shoulder. Extending that left side. Just a gentle twist here. And then walk that left hand back. Press down into your left palm to come back to your tabletop. And as you inhale, reach that left arm up. Exhale, thread it underneath your right armpit this time, extending your right arm to the top. Try to stack your hips over your knees again. Again, really breathing into the under part of that left arm and shoulder, extending that right side. And then slowly walk that hand back, press down into that hand, and we're going to creep our hands a couple of inches forward, spread those fingers nice and wide, shoulder distance. Tuck your toes, inhale, come into your first downward dog. So you might just want to pedal out your feet here. Just do whatever feels right to you. Try to keep those hips drawing up and back, really extending the spine here. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then just gaze between your hands. And you're going to slowly tiptoe your feet towards your hands. Bring your feet about hip distance. Bend your knees and let the top of your chest connect with the top of your thighs. And then grab opposite elbows here. Drop your head. Maybe nod your head yes and no here. Maybe a gentle sway from side to side. Just releasing any tension at the back of your neck or your lower back. And then slowly release your hands, press down into your heels. As you inhale, roll up to standing, arms up and over your head, hands through prayer. Bring yourself maybe a footprint, bring yourself in front of your mat, maybe leave a footprint in front. Have your feet maybe about hip distance, and as you inhale, reach your arms up and over. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, come up halfway. Your fingertips can be on the mat or your shins. Your gaze is just at the front edge of your mat. Shoulders drawing down your back. Then slowly plant your hands down and step your right foot back. Drop your knee. Lift your chest. Inhale. Plant your hands down. Tuck your back toes, step your left foot back. You're in your plank now. Remember, you've got the option to drop down to your knees. If you have any issues in your shoulders or lower back, just place your knees on the mat. And then just keep rounding through your shoulders. Otherwise, if you're in your full plank, you're trying to create a straight line. So draw those heels back, really draw the thighs up towards the ceiling. And then everyone, lower your knees here. Keep your hips nice and high, elbows draw back. And then just slowly lower your chin and chest in between your hands. Scoop your body through. Untuck your toes. Draw the shoulders down and back. And come into a low cobra. So again, your gaze is still to the floor. And then we're going to slowly make our way back into our downward dog. So in downward dog, you want your feet hip distance apart. Again, hands, fingers nice and spread. Hands about shoulder width apart. If you've got really tight shoulders, you can have them slightly wider. Really tight hamstrings, just have a bend in your knees and draw the top of your chest to the top of your thighs. So you create this lovely long spine. And eventually you can start to lengthen those legs. Keep the hips drawing up and back. Try to broaden that area around your shoulder blades. So don't let your shoulders creep up to your ears. Really lengthening the sides of the torso. Trying to draw the weight back into your feet. Then gaze towards your hands. Step your right foot back, right foot forward. Drop your knee. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Inhale, reach that right arm up. And just a gentle twist. And maybe let that right arm go beyond the centre line. And then slowly bring that hand back down. Tuck your left toes and bring your left foot to meet your right foot. Standing forward fold. Take a breath here. Let your head hang heavy. Soften the shoulders and neck. And then press down into the heels as you inhale and then slowly roll up to standing. Arms up and over your head. Hands through prayer. Inhale, arms up and over. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway up. Remember, fingertips can be on the mat or your shins. Shoulders still drawing down your back. Plant the hands down, and this time step your left foot back. Drop your knee. Inhale, chest forward. Plant your hands down. Really spread those fingers. Tuck your back toes and come back to your plank or half plank. Keep lifting the pelvic floor and squeezing navel to spine. Keep drawing those heels away. So you want to create a nice strong plank. Imagine the front of the thighs reaching up towards the ceiling. So try to shift some of the weight from the upper body into the back body. Make sure your shoulders are above your wrists. Now everyone lower your knees. Hips nice and high. Lower your chin and chest between your hands. Scoop your body forward. Untuck your toes. Low cobra. Keep those shoulders drawing down your back. And then slowly make your way back into your downward dog. Check you're still breathing. You're still breathing in and out of your nose. Really press down through your fingertips, the outer edges of your hands, and draw that energy all the way up to your hips. Hips drawing up and back, and then shifting that weight into your feet. Keep the spine nice and long. Again, broaden that area around your chest and shoulder blades. Imagine you're closing off your armpits. Front of the thighs, reach into the back of the room. And then gaze between your hands, and this time step your left foot in between your hands. Draw up your back knee. Bring your right hand underneath your shoulder, and inhale, reach the left arm up. Again, you can extend it beyond the midline. And then slowly bring that hand down. Untuck the back toes and step it in between your hands. Drop your head. Press down into the heels, and as you inhale, roll up to standing, arms up and over your head, hands through prayer. Now bring your inner feet, knees and legs to touch. Bend your knees and bring your hands either side of your foot. Shift the weight into your heels, tuck your tailbone, scoop your belly in, and inhale, come into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Keep drawing the shoulders down the back, fingertips reach up. Shift the weight to your heels, make sure your tailbone's tucked, and then slowly lower your hands back down, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step that right foot back, and this time we're coming into a runner's lunge, so the knee remains off the mat. Make sure that right leg is nice and strong. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, let's make our way into plank. Now remember, you've got the option to drop your knees. You also have the option to come down for knees, chest, chin. Or this time, if you want, you can come through Chaturanga into your upward dog. So whichever way you're doing, if you're coming through Chaturanga, make sure those legs are nice and strong. Take an inhale. As you exhale, shift the body forward. Elbows over your wrists, shoulders in line with your elbows. Come onto the tops of your feet, and then come into your upward dog with your knees and thighs lifted off the mat. There should be no compression in your lower back or neck here. Gaze is forward, and then roll over your feet and make your way into your downward dog. Gaze between your hands and step your right foot through, drop your back knee. Make sure your right knee is stacked above your right heel. Then bring your left hand underneath your left wrist. Inhale, open that right arm up again. Really lifting that chest up towards the ceiling. Now slowly bring that hand down. Bring your hands to the inside of your right leg. You might need to just walk your right foot over an inch. And then you can either stay here, really connecting your knee to your right arm, or you can drop down to your elbows. If you have blocks and your elbows don't quite reach the floor yet, you can use the blocks underneath your arms. Keep your gaze forward, neck in line with your spine. Make sure that knee is drawing in towards your arm, it's not splaying out. And then slowly make your way back up. Slide your left knee in so that your front leg and your back leg are parallel. Now make sure that front foot is pressing down and that back leg is pressing down. And then imagine your thighs are drawing in towards one another. So you've got this strong foundation and you feel stable. Okay. Then lengthen your right arm up to the ceiling. So you're really lifting out of the hips. Your chest and your hips face forward. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your right hand behind your sacrum. Palm pressing onto your sacrum, fingertips pointing down. Right shoulder drawing back. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, place the back of that hand onto the outside of your right knee. Your chest and your hips are still facing forward. Take an inhale, really lengthen out of your hips. Exhale, twist from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your upper spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slide your left arm outside your right leg. And then when the elbow hooks onto your thigh, bend the elbow, bring the hand to heart center. And then bring your right hand to join your left hand. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, use your elbow against your knee to really twist your torso to the right. And just hold it here. So take an inhale, think about lengthening. On each exhale, maybe you can twist a little bit more. Try to soften the shoulders here. Gaze just over your hands. And then slowly make your way back. Tuck your back toes and make your way to downward dog. Pedal out your feet here if you need to. And then when you're ready, you're going to gaze between your hands and step your left foot through, drop your back knee. This time bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Again, check your left knee is stacked above your left heel. And then we're going to raise the left arm up. Again, you can bring that hand beyond the midpoint, really opening the chest up towards the ceiling. And then slowly make your way back down. Now we're going to bring our hands onto the inside of our left leg. Again, you can walk your foot an inch to the left. And then you can come down to your, you can stay here with the hand on your hands, knee drawn into your arm, or come down to your forearms and elbow. If you've got blocks and you used the blocks last time, use them again. And again, just keep your gaze forward, really drawing that knee into that arm. Soften the shoulders and neck here. And then when you're ready, slowly start to make your way back up if you've come down. And this time we're going to slide our right knee in so that our right leg and our left leg are parallel. Our right thigh and our left leg are parallel. Lovely. So before you even lift your hands off the mat, make sure you're pressing down through that front, you're equally pressing down through that front foot and that back leg. And then slowly imagine your thighs are drawing in towards each other as you start to bring yourself into an upright position. Then lengthen your left arm towards the ceiling as you inhale, and as you exhale, bring that palm onto your sacrum, fingertips point down, left shoulder draws back. Inhale, reach the right arm up, exhale, place the back of that hand onto the outside of the left knee. So inhale, really lengthen to the front to begin with. Exhale, twist from your lower spine. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist from your middle spine. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist from your upper spine. Inhale, as you exhale, slide that right arm outside your left thigh. Bend, and once your elbow hooks onto the thigh, bend the elbow and draw your hand to heart center. And then bring your left hand to meet your right hand. Take an inhale as you exhale, twist the torso to the left. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And just continue with this lengthening and twisting, really drawing your torso over to the left. Keep the shoulders relaxed, gazing over your hands. Try not to clench your front toes. And then slowly start to make your way out. Tuck your back toes and make your way back into your downward dog. And gaze between your hands, step your right foot back, coming into your runner's lunge, drawing that left heel away. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, bring the left foot to the right foot, standing forward fold. Now bring your feet to touch, bend your knees, shift the weight into your heels, and we're going to slowly come into our chair pose again. Shoulders joined back down the back. And lift. Hands through prayer. So this time, we're going to come into a twisted chair pose. So, let's slowly start to make our way back to our chair. Make sure the weight is into the heels. Shoulders joined down your back. Then bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to hook your left elbow outside your right knee and draw your torso over to the right, hands to heart center. That left knee is going to want to shoot forward, so try to bring it in line with the right knee, keeping your hips nice and squared. Take an inhale. As you exhale, keep twisting your torso to the right. And then slowly come back to center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to twist over to the left as you hook your right elbow outside your left knee. This time trying to keep your right knee in line with your left knee. So don't let it shoot too far forward. Take an inhale. As you exhale, keep twisting over to your left. Check your breathing, gazing over your hands. And then slowly bring your hands up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, this time step your left foot back into your runner's lunge. Really draw that leg back. Knee off the mat, chest forward. And then bring yourself back into your plank. So shoulders over your wrists. Heels drawing back, thighs reaching towards the ceiling. So again, you can drop down to your knees, come through knees, chest, chin, into your low cobra and downward dog. Or you can join me and slowly take an inhale as you exhale. Scoot down into your chaturanga. Elbows over your wrist, shoulders in line with your elbows. Come to the tops of your feet, knees and thighs off the mat. Chest forward, gaze forward, upward dog. And then roll over your feet, coming into your downward dog. Now gaze between your hands, step your right foot through, drop your back knee. So again, check your right knee is above your right heel. And we're just going to bring our hands to the inside this time. You can walk that knee to the right again by about an inch. Stay on your hands, drawing your knee into your arm, or come down to your elbows. Just try to come to a place that works for you and hold it here. Now slowly start to make your way back up if you're on your elbows. Draw that left knee in. And we're going to start to make our way to that twisted lunge pose. So slowly start to make your way to your lunge, making sure your back leg and front leg are parallel. Inhale the right arm up, bring the hand behind your sacrum. Inhale the left arm, bring the hand outside your right leg. Take an inhale as you exhale. Start to twist from your lower spine, then from your middle spine, then upper spine. And again, you slide your left arm down your right leg, bend the elbow, bring the hand to prayer. Now you can stay here and just keep working on the inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Or you can gaze down towards your right toes. Make sure you're not clenching your toes, you're pressing down into your heel. Take an inhale, as you exhale, you tuck your left toes and lift the knee off the mat. You make sure that left leg is nice and strong and twist again to look over your hands. That left thigh is reaching up to the ceiling. Now you can stay here working on the high lunge twist, or you can gaze down to your right foot. Take an inhale as you exhale. You start to bring your left foot to meet your right foot into a twisted chair and then twist in your chair again. Take a breath here. And then gaze down to your right foot. Shift the weight into your right foot. Take an inhale. As you exhale, step back into your lunge. And then gaze over your hands again. Make sure that left leg is nice and strong. And then everybody, you're going to slowly start to gaze down to your right toes. If you've got your knee lifted, drop your knee here. Step your right foot back. Bring your big toes to touch. Sit back onto your heels and come through to a child's pose. Keep your hips reaching back, hands reaching, extending forward. And then let's slowly start to make our way back into our downward dog position. This time we're going to step our left foot in between our hands and drop our back knee, making sure that left foot and knee are stacked, sorry, that left heel and knee are stacked. Then bring your hands to the inside of your leg, walk that left foot an inch to the left if you need to. If you're on your hands, just keep drawing that knee into that arm, or come down to your elbows or onto your blocks. And just keep drawing that knee towards your arm. Gazes forward. Soften your shoulders, soften your neck. And just return back to your breath. And then slowly start to make your way back up. Slide that right leg in, so your right leg and your right thigh and your left leg are parallel. Press down through that foot and back leg. Squeeze those thighs towards each other, slowly come up. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, place that palm onto your sacrum. Inhale, the right arm up. Place the back of that hand to the outside of the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from your lower spine. Lengthen, twist from your middle spine. Lengthen, twist from your upper spine. Slide the right arm down. Elbow hooks the thigh. Bend the elbow. Hand to prayer. Hand to heart center. Left hand to meet right. So you can stay here just really working on this twist pose. As you inhale, you lengthen, exhale, you twist, or gaze down towards your left toes. Again, make sure you're not clenching your toes. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, tuck those right toes, lift the knee off the mat, really drawing that right thigh back, heel drawing away. You can work on this high lunge twist. Again, gaze over your hands, or again, turn your gaze down towards your left foot. Take an inhale, as you exhale, step your right foot to your left foot, coming into your twisted chair. Again, let those knees be stacked. Twist your torso over to the left. If you're in a twisted chair, take an inhale. Start to gaze down to your right foot. Shift the weight into your left foot. Take an inhale. As you exhale, step back into that high lunge and gaze over your hands again. Keep twisting. And then wherever you are, you're going to slowly turn your gaze to your left foot and start to make your way back into your downward dog. Pedal out your feet here if you need to. And then you're going to gaze between your hands. Step your left foot through into your runner's lunge. Inhale. And exhale, step your right foot to your left foot. Standing forward fold. So we're just going to stay in that standing forward fold for a minute. Maybe wrap your arms around the backs of your knees. And let your chest hang heavy over your thighs. Let the hips still reach up. Try to soften the back of the knees, your shoulders and your neck here. Let your head hang heavy. And slowly release your hands. Press down into your heels. As you inhale, roll up to standing. Exhale, hands through prayer. Inhale, arms up and over. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale halfway, and exhale, this time we're just going to step back into a downward dog. And then from our downward dog, make sure your feet are hip distance, hands, fingers nice and spread, hands shoulder width apart. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're just going to shift into your plank. Let's just hold plank here. Keep drawing those heels away. Lift that pelvic floor. Squeeze navel to spine. You're around through your shoulders. So you're on a nice strong plank here. And then scoot back into your downward dog. Let's do that again. So try to keep your feet and your hands the same distance. Slowly making your way back into your plank. Keep breathing. And then back into your downward dog. This time you're going to raise your right leg up towards the ceiling as you inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to shift your shoulders over your wrist as you bring your right knee to the top of that right arm and squeeze, scooping that navel to spine. Inhale, draw that leg back. Exhale, twist the body and draw that knee to the top of the left arm. Really rounding through your spine. Inhale, leg to center. Exhale, draw that knee all the way to your chin, your nose, or your forehead. Really squeeze the navel to spine, rounding through your shoulders. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale the leg back down. Come back into your downward dog. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, scoop, come back to your plank. Lovely. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to your plank. Should be feeling your core here working. Inhale, lengthen. And this time you're going to raise your left leg up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, shoulders over your wrist, knee to the top of your left arm. Really squeeze navel to spine. Inhale, leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, twist and bring the knee all the way to the top of that right arm. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drawing the knee to the chin, the nose, or the forehead. Really scooping that belly up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, place that foot down to the mat. Now gaze towards your hands. You're going to bring your right knee behind your right wrist and your right foot behind your left wrist and draw that left leg all the way back. We're going to come into a pigeon pose. So really tap that left hip under and then walk your hands either side of your hips. Use a block or a cushion if you need to, if your right hip is really high here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to walk your hands forward, drawing your torso over your front leg. If your head doesn't reach the mat, just use a block or a cushion underneath your forehead. And once you're in position, keep drawing your left hip under your right hip back. Try to soften your shoulders and your neck here, your upper body. Find that juicy spot and just breathe into it. Just return back to the breath we started with. You can stay here, or you can slowly walk your hands up, turn your torso over your right knee, and then just bring yourself over your right leg. You can stay here, or you can start to walk your way up. Hook your left elbow outside your right knee, and you can come to a twisted pigeon. So you bring your hands to connect. So your right hand comes in line with your right palm comes on top of your left palm. And then just twist your torso to gaze over your hands. Trying to bring your prayer to heart center. And if you're wherever you are, slowly start to make your way back. Lengthen your spine. And then bring yourself back into your downward dog. And just pedal out your feet here. This time bring your left knee behind your left wrist, left foot behind your right wrist. And tuck that right leg, right hip under, drawing that right leg back. So again, if your left hip is really high, you can place a block or a pillow underneath. And again, lengthen that spine, draw the shoulders down your back as you inhale, and as you exhale, walk your hands forward. Lowering your forehead onto the mat or onto a prop. Once in position, keep drawing that right hip under, that left hip back. If you can, keep the arms nice and extended so you're extending the side of the body. But soften the neck, the shoulders, the upper body, just let it melt into the mat. Find that juicy spot and just breathe into it. Now you can stay here. You can slowly make your way up. Turn your torso over your left knee and just walk your torso over your left leg. Take a few breaths here. You can stay here. We can slowly come up into a variation, twisted pigeon, by hooking your right elbow over your left knee and then bringing your hands to meet in a prayer position. And then you want to try to draw those Hands into your heart center. Gaze over your prayer. So just come to the place that feels right to you. Now, whichever position you're in, slowly start to make your way out. Lengthen your torso. And just start to make your way to your downward dog. Again, pedal out your feet here if you need to. And then you're just going to lower your knees down to the mat. Bring your legs out in front and come to a staff pose. Dandasana. So you want your legs nice and straight. Pull the flesh out from underneath your sit bones. So you're really sitting onto the bones, those sit bones, and not on your lower back. Keep the heels pressing down, toes pointing up. Just start by staying in Tadasana for a couple of breaths, hands down by your sides, shoulders drawing down your back, and try to keep your neck, your shoulders and hip in line. Now from here, we're going to bend our right knee. Now I'm going to show you options. You can just stay on this position. This is the first option, foot onto the inside of the left leg. Second option is to bring the foot onto the outside of the left leg. You've got to make sure both sit bones are rooted to the mat. If the sit bone raises, you should come back to the first option. Final option is to bend your left knee and place the heel by your right hip. But again, make sure both sit bones are rooted. Okay, so whichever position you're in, you're going to slowly bring your left arm up to your ear, and then you're going to bring this arm, either you're going to bring the arm onto the outside of that right leg, you're going to bring it over that right leg, or you can bring it through and interlace your arms behind. So if your arms are over, you just bring your right hand behind you and start to twist. If you're looping it through, try to bring that right arm behind you and interlace your fingers, and try to relax your shoulders here. Again, make sure your sit bones are rooted. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to twist over to your right. Again, try to soften the shoulders. Take an inhale, as you exhale, you might want to start to draw a line with your nose to look over your shoulder now as well. And then slowly start to make your way back. Turn all the way to the left. Let's do a counter pose here. And then just lengthen your legs out in front of you. This time you're gonna, let's come back to staff pose actually, just to make sure our sit bones are nicely rooted. So pull the flesh from underneath your sit bones. Heels pressing down into the mat, arms down by your sides. And again, just checking your shoulders and your neck are stacked over your hips. Then start to bend your left knee. So try to come to the same place you came to before if you can. So the foot is on either the inside of your right leg, the outside of your right leg, or you bend that right knee and bring the heel onto the outside of your left hip. Whichever position you're in, you should be sitting on both sit bones, weight equally distributed between both. And again, you just bring your left arm behind you, you can bring your right arm up and just hook it over your left leg. You can bring your arm over, or you can bring your hand underneath and bring your left hand to interlace with your right hand. So choose the option that's right for you. Whichever position you're in, take an inhale, and as you exhale, twist over towards your left. Make sure that left big toe stays pressing onto the mat. So remember, you inhale, you lengthen, exhale, you twist. And try to twist in stages from your lower back, then your middle back, and then your upper back. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you can start to draw a line with your nose now to gaze over your left shoulder. And then slowly start to make your way back And this time just do a counter pose by coming over your right. And then slowly release your legs and come to lie on your mat. So keep your, in fact, just bring your knees to your chest. Let's just bring that spine back down to the mat. And then bring your feet onto the mat. So have your feet about hip distance or maybe a little bit wider. Heels underneath your knees. Have the arms nice and wide. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, just drop your knees over to the left. And gaze over to the right. Now you can stay here, or if you want, if your knees are low enough, you can bring your left foot and just bring it on top of your right thigh. And just feel that stretch along the right side of your torso. And just keep gazing over your right shoulder. You can close your eyes here. Just allowing everything to soften. If you have your foot on top of the leg, slowly release it. And then slowly bring your knees and your gaze back to centre. Realign yourself, take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to drop your knees over to the right this time. Turn your gaze over to the left. Again, if your knees are low enough, you may want to bring your right heel on top of your left thigh. Remember, if you feel any sort of uncomfortable sensations in your knees or your hips, just stay to the first, stick with the first position. And again, you can close your eyes here. Just returning back to your breath, noticing that stretch along your left side. And then slowly release that foot, bring the gaze and knees back to centre. And you just draw your knees back into your chest. Just gently massaging the lower spine. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to bring your feet down to the mat and just lengthen your legs along the mat as we start to make our way into Shavasana. So close your eyes here, let your feet split out to the sides, let your palms come to the sides, facing up towards the ceiling, fingertips rolling in. Let everything soften. Just take a scan of the body. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, and maybe just take a few deep breaths if you are holding any tension, just to slowly start to let it soften. And then take a moment here just to notice how you're feeling at the end of today's class. Noticing any shift in energy, any sensations, particularly around your torso, around the organs, around the spinal muscles. Noticing if you feel any different at the end of your class to how you felt at the start of your class. And then slowly just let everything soften. Soften your feet, your legs, your thighs, your hands, your forearms, your arms, the front and back of your torso. Shoulders pressed down, chest nice and open. You can lick your lips here. Release any tension at the back of your neck, your face and your jaw. And soften that area around your eyes, your cheeks and your forehead. As we slowly make our way into our final pose, Shavasana. So I invite you to stay in Shavasana for at least 5 to 10 minutes to really get the benefits of today's practice. Namaste.